So I better do one more video for the day while I've got this very amazing sun, in my face here. Jeez. Let's see if I can. Okay, so the thing is, which I've always tried to explain and explained in many ways, it's that. Are you still recording? Yeah, you're still recording. Okay. It's that, I would really be at a disadvantage here if I would not do things the way that I'm doing, So I've got a job interview coming up in a couple of days now. It's a security job, so there's not really much requirement in that job aside from being able to stand there all day, not having a lot to do, and being aware of things and being able to act if there's a threat, and being comfortable talking to people that are coming into in New Zealand, our work and income office. It's like a social welfare office, and so there's people coming in there that need the dole. They need some little bit assistance from the government, and a lot of the people coming in there, and they might not be in a good state of mind, not having had work for a while. There could be a little bit of drugs, a little bit of family violence, a little bit of psychological issues, and a lot of these types of things. But this is actually a very perfect environment for me to be in, to challenge me to develop psychic power and to have the right kind of resistance in place, which is going to be the perfect parameters for me to work with to develop that. Okay. So the thing is, I would really be at a, I'm considering this now about how I'm going to present myself in the interview. It's usually that, the interviewer in a job, they want to know you kind of who are you in a professional sense? What work have you done? What study? What education have you achieved? What practical courses have you done? This, that, and I'm happy to go in to say very briefly these things about my education level and that, but very briefly. It's not something I want to focus on because it doesn't really mean a lot to me, to be honest, because it's all part of it's very much, in my case, a lot of this is part of the I don't want to create a boogeyman to scapegoat here, but in some sense it's part of the system which very much keeps people like myself at a disadvantage. Okay, like if I can't talk about who I truly am, in the sense in terms of what I'm truly interested in, psychic power, and going a little bit beyond, and basically delving within the realm of the unseen, okay, and cultivating these, let's say, unseen skills, which is really just a refinement of our whole being. Okay, it's not something that's apart from so-called special abilities or gifts or whatever, is not something that is separate from everyday life. Every part of your everyday life, when you're sleeping, breathing, eating, defecating, socializing, at your job, whatever you're doing there is a component of special ability. If you are aware, if you have an awareness, okay, then you have a sense, then you have a sixth sense, then you have a seventh sense. Whatever buzzword you want to call it, it's happening. Okay, it's just that you are mostly delving within the language center of your brain, and you are using your left brain hemisphere to remember things, and you're using your right brain hemisphere to creatively process the memories. But there is always, everyone is psychic. You know, we all have these senses. There's just ways to, it's just that the way to refine these senses and to what's the word? To isolate the development of a particular sense, okay? Then we have to learn how to synchronize the brain hemispheres, which is so that we are not operating, you know, there's no short circuit between the brain hemispheres, which is most of the time when we communicate, and the way that the system has organized things is such that we are kind of forced to use our brain in the normal way, which kind of suppresses our full capacity of our psychic power, psychic ability, okay? But like, I'm very much interested in this. Of course, I need to understand regular brain waves to communicate and things, but I would be, if I didn't pursue this, I would be at a disadvantage. If I would try to use my brain in the normal way, I would really be at a disadvantage, because using my brain in the normal way, if you look at my, you know, my study, my records, my marks in school and what I've achieved, it's very, you know, because it puts me within that, it restricts me to that. So I don't know what, I mean, but in a job interview, I have to be honest. If I have to speak honestly, then I have to explain what I'm really about, you know? That could potentially come across weird, but I don't think so. If I'm fully centered like I'm centered now, and I just explain it, and not just explain it verbally, but also telepathically, I use my vibe to vibe with the interviewer, you know, so that they're like, oh, okay, and then we're both vibing. So we'll see how that goes, you know. We'll see how that goes. You know, I don't want to just say, you know, I don't want to just say, yeah, my name's Joe Bloggs, and I, you know, just do all the normal shit. No, I gotta be honest here, you know. It's just time to start being honest.